Back in January, I got a pad of 20 watercolor postcards. I'm familiar with the paper as it's the Fabriano Studio 140-pound, 25% cotton cold press, made in Italy. The dimensions are 4 inches by 5 3/4 inches. And for the past couple of months, I'd been trying to come up with a project that would work well on this small scale. Of course, the ultimate would be to actually be in Italy, plein airing the things and sending them back home stained with Chianti. But since that wasn't going to happen, I put on my big gal jammy pants, poured a Diet Cola on ice, and hoped inspiration would make an appearance. And I found it. Inspiration, that is, in the Antiquarian sticker book, which producer Mike gifted to me last Christmas. It hadn't been featured here at INCWorks because I wasn't sure if it would be a good fit for these sessions. Plus, another YouTube channel covered it all in a fantastic flip-through with commentary. Link in the description. For the initial sketch, I used a Faber-Castell Polychromos color pencil in light green, followed a little later on by a Faber-Castell Pitt pen in sepia, both made in Germany. Now, for something a little different. I would love to hear a travel story of yours in the comments. It can be a real-life experience or a complete fantasy, and you don't have to say which it is. Keep us guessing. And if you include the phrase, "Wish you were here," you'll be entered into a drawing. After 7 days from the posting date of this video, I will announce a random winner in a pinned comment. The prize will be a new pad of these Fabriano cold press postcards, the seahorse painting shown, and a small surprise. I mean, I wish it could be a cruise to the Mediterranean, but it's not. We're a few away from our 100th video, and we hope this will be a fun way to not only acknowledge that, but also to say thanks to the viewers. Your response has made it all worthwhile. This is the Derwent Graphitint paint pan set. It's made in the UK and categorized as watercolors, although they don't use the usual watercolor formulation. Derwent describes it as a unique blend of graphite with color to create subtle, muted color with a graphite sheen. With Italian paper, German pens, and British paints, I almost feel as if I've gone abroad. I'm now imagining grabbing a cornetto and cafe corretto, sampling some Rhine wines, then stopping at a pub for a fish and chips supper. In addition to lesser travel delights, such as annoying the locals and maintaining a death grip on my Rick Steves approved crossbody bag. Yeah, these Graphitint pans are fun, intriguing, and totally adorable. Kinda like a movie I just watched, The Spy Who Dumped Me. The fun part was traveling to Europe, getting chased, tied up, and interrogated, then having to perform in a circus. The intrigue came with the dilemma over which super hottie spy to trust with your life. As for adorable, get this. The story begins with the main character feeling old and unfulfilled on her 30th birthday. 30. Three brushes were used on this piece, all Neptune rounds, a 12, an 8, and a 4. And I went with the colors ocean blue, steel blue, slate green, and meadow. Possibly dark indigo too, but I'm not positive on that one. While I appreciate vibrancy, this sort of muted palette is very much to my taste. And considering how hard the cakes are, I had no problem getting a color-loaded brush. Since I was curious about light fastness, I went on a hunt for that information, since it wasn't included with the packaging. And according to the rating system Derwent applies, it appears that 2 of the colors have questionable staying power. Russet is 4 and Port is 5. The rest are 6, 7, or 8, which, on their scale, equates to good, very good, and excellent. I'll include a link to the page where I found a handy downloadable color chart. This next part probably requires some explaining. There was a time when I'd considered getting into bullet journaling. I'm attracted to the aesthetic and the accessories, but I wasn't willing to commit the time and funds to an activity that wasn't part of my main art focus. During that deliberation, producer Mike discovered and could not resist this set of journaling stencils for less than $10. So I've been thinking of ways to implement them into my art. For this first use, I chose a swirly corner design.
Riding low and flying high, we can reach the morning light. Come on, baby, you should take my hand. I got bottles, I got booze, roll the dice, you'll never lose. Come on, baby, you should take my hand.
I went ahead and placed the inspiration sticker on the back side. It looked nice and all, but not quite complete. So out came a Sakura Koi brush pen, one of the lighter ones from the set of grays. That's me, living life on the edge and freehanding that border. Because I was still fantasizing about espionage and European pastries, and whipping out a ruler would be like calculating the chances of survival before jumping onto a train, or tallying the calories in a tiramisu. Mood killer much? Graphitints, postcards, and stickers, all in one go. I'm so happy to share this experience. Now that I've completed a painting with these graphitints, I'm feeling pretty good about them. The initial attraction was their uniqueness, but I found that they act very similar to watercolors. One thing I need to point out: after rubbing a facial tissue over the dried surface, it came away with a trace amount of color. It's not a big issue for me, but I might experiment with spray fixative down the road. Next time, I might even break in the included water brush, because if I ever get to travel again, it could be a handy tool to take along. For mobile arting, sure, but also, you never know when you may need to stash something small in a narrow space to save the world. Until next time, stay artsy, my friends.